Ciao.
Buongiorno. Ciao, Patty.
Ciao a tutti, buongiorno, ciao.
Hello.
Hi to everybody. Sorry, I'm running a couple of minutes late.
Ciao, nice to meet you, Patrizia.
And Romano.
So Romano and Patrizia are the owners and the masterminds behind the Tenuta L'Impostino that we feature in the last wine club. So having them today, I will ask some questions and we'll send you a few pictures and a little presentation of the winery, so you can have it, you can take it, and as you drink their wines, you have more information. But today is also about asking them questions, and I'll lead it off with a few questions to them that I know you want to know, and then let's have some question to them, because it's a very, very special property. So
Thank you, Marco. Sorry for my bad English. Okay.
Your English
Sorry?
Your English is fine.
No, I don't think, but okay. Welcome in Tuscany, of course. We are in the Monte Cucco area. Tenuta L'Impostino is located in the high hill of the South Maremma region of Tuscany, between Montalcino and Morellino di Scansano. The Monte Cucco denomination became a DOC in 1998. 1998, l'ho detto giusto? Yes. And became DOC G in the 2011. The origin of Monte Cucco is very, very, very ancient. The history of Monte Cucco research far back in time on the ancient Etruscan in the territory situated between the northern and southern Etruria. Do you know Etruria?
Etruria?
No, not easy.
You're going too far back.
Yeah.
It's too old.
With the Romans.
The story of Italy, but
Okay.
it's very long.
Yeah.
Okay. With the action of the ancient Romans, Mount Amiata is the old deed volcanic. We have the back in our farm. Became of the destination of for important spa tourism, thanks to the health of sulfurous water. Non so se si è capito.
Yeah, sulfuric water, yep.
Okay, and after the Longobard invade in an effort to control the Francigena road, an important connection between Rome and the northern modern day Europe. Okay. The name of Impostino dates back to the Middle Age and means old post, where the wayfarers stopped, they changed the horses, ate and drank a good glass of wine, of course. Our was the smallest one, our. It was the most important due to its location near the custom, where they pay the tax for continue towards Rome. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Tenuta L'Impostino is located on the top of a natural amphitheater facing in southwest, and at a height of about 415 meters, and cover 55 hectares, 21 of vineyards, surrounded by 30 hectares of forest, and by 4 hectares olive trees. The cellar modern structure of 2,000 square meters, and we have agritourism and a little restaurant. Marco, tutto bene o sto
No,
divagando?
it's good. It's good. We like your English is like your wine. Perfect.
Okay, the location. Our vineyard is exposed at southwest, the best position, of course, possible for the expression of structure complexity during the ripening of the grape. It enjoys a privileged condition in a sort of ideal corridor from the Amiata, the old volcanic dead, and the Tyrrhenian Sea with a constant ventilation. The pruning system is Royal spurred cordon with a yield about 5-7 quintal per hectare, essential for the growth of high quality grapes. Okay, the soil is composed of clay rich in salt mixed with calcareous deposit, medium deep soil rich in skeleton, and area rich in organic matter. The slope and the composition of the soil guarantee an optimal drain, offering to the plant the best condition of the balance and the vocation grow. Io diciamo che il discorso.
No. And thank you for that. I mean, it's a lot of information, but what I think want to know is to hear you and Romano talk about mostly the two wines that we feature, so the Charlone and the Lupo.
Okay.
Both coming from the same soil, the same terroir, but two different identities, two different stories, two different purposes. And so we can start with the Charlone and then we go to Lupo, and it's more understanding really what is behind those wines more than a technical sheet, because you guys have the dream, you guys had the vision, and you work with this wine every year. And so that's what we want to know. That's what I want you to share with the Veneto Club.
Parto con il Cerlone?
Yeah.
Okay, the Cerlone is the careful and easy drinking wine and ideal support with friends. The denomination is Montecucco DOC, 60% Sangiovese and 40% Merlot, Alicante, and Petit Verdot. The vineyard is the Sugaretta, more variety soil with a fertile and deep base, stony position with clay length that give a complexity and finesse. The maturation is 12 months in the steel tank, 6 months in the bottle, and this wine is very, very flower with a note of geranium, the red fruit, medium to full body, well made, soft tannins. Non so se tu vuoi aggiungere qualcosa.
Yeah, no,
Marco?
like why do you make that wine? Where that wine belonging in your winery? What purpose is covering, and what message do you want to send with the Charlone wine? And why did you call it Charlone too? So you can explain what Charlone means.
Thank you for the answer, for the question. Charlone, the name in Italy meaning people who talk a lot.
The babbler.
The babble. And in fact, Charlone for us is the wine you have drink a lot with other people in a situation where you don't try to have a great wine to make a degustation or so, but you have to enjoy, eat, drink, and have a good relationship with other people on the table. And is easy to drink, but in the same time is wine have a good structure, good character, no? And we sell very well over the world because you feel the Tuscany style, but in the meantime, you have the possibility to approach also people not used to drink a lot, also people who used to drink easy. And the other particular thing in Charlone is that there is the Alicante. Alicante is typical grapes of the south of Italy and also Tocton in Tuscany, but not used a lot. And so this component of Alicante succeed in give the possibility to Charlone is a little bit different of the other Tuscany wine you feel on our left.
Yeah. So I mean, the way that I really like Charlone into the Italian traditions is really like it's your even like first initial wine is fresh, is a little acidity. It's a wine for me that I say like you don't have to think. It's a wine that like helps you with like calming down after a long day, and you get a glass of wine and you're like, oh, okay.
And then you can drink in every situation. You can drink with white meat because it's not too heavy. But in the meantime, you also can drink with a red meat or a plate more important because it's a good style, good. And you can make un accostamento, food pairing with a lot of kind of food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I tried it too. Like I don't mind it during the summer having it cold. It's very refreshing.
In the summer, if you keep a little bit cold on 12 degree, you can sure drink also in the summer, also when there is very hot, and it's very also with the fish, for example, some people drink pizza too or so.
Yeah,
and the good acidity and the good fresh you maintain also if you have the wine with a degree less.
With
you feel the flower, you feel the perfume. Also, you put the wine at a 12-13 degree.
Yeah, so chill down and yeah, but and that to me is an amazing barbecue wine during the summer. Chill down and while you're cooking, you're hot on the grill, and then like a nice colder glass of this is with the meat is perfect. All right, so let's get to the main wine, the beautiful Lupo Bianco Reserva. So tell us the story about this wine because it's intriguing and it's a
Lupo Bianco.
Yep. And it's a wine that you cannot find a lot of other places other than the area where you're from.
Allora, the Lupo Bianco is IGP Toscana, 60% Sangiovese and 40% Merlot. The vineyard is Pietroso, clay calcareous, rich skeleton, exposition on southwest and northwest. 1 year in the steel tank, 2 months in the French oak barrique. The Sangiovese stay in the oak barrique, the second passage, Merlot in the new one for 2 years almost. After 12 months, 1 year in the concrete tanks, and after 1 year in the bottle. Is a long maturation.
Yes, no, Lupo Bianco is, of course, our top, and is a particular because it's the only wine we have on the land where a little part is on the southwest exposition, like the most part of the factory, but the other part is the northeast. It's the only one we have the grapes in the both of the two exposition, and in the last year with the acidity, with the warm, it's very important to bring a good equilibrium from the different grapes. The white wolf is also the name is interesting because a white wolf is a red wine, and is amazing in this respect. And white wolf is a wine who need a lot of time to evolve, because our Merlot is a Merlot very important. We have to make the harvest very early, because more or less at the beginning of September, and in front of this we make the harvest of the Sangiovese very tardi, come si dice?
Late, very late.
Very late, to mix the two components. Of course, white wolf is a little bit different of the Charlone. Is a wine you can drink or with a food pairing important, like
the long aging cheese, the red meat, the plate with truffle, pecorino, the meat more.
Cinghiale, come si dice in Tuscany? Cinghiale.
Wild boar.
Wild boar.
Yeah.
Or also at the end of the dinner with a cigar, like a meditation wine.
Cigar.
We introduce
Cigar and Lupo Bianco.
Non ho capito, scusa.
Cigar and Lupo Bianco, as you said.
Cigar and Lupo Bianco, yes.
Chocolate and Lupo Bianco.
Chocolate and Lupo Bianco. We produce in different quantity every year, depend on the capacity of the year to give a good Merlot. And we produce only when we are sure to have the top of the quality. For example, in 2014, we haven't produced Lupo Bianco, and when we haven't produced Viandante is the other reserve, Montecucco di OCG, because it was a very raining season, and the quality is not sufficient to produce Lupo Bianco. In our age, for example, 2011, we produce a lot of Lupo Bianco, and we don't produce Charlone, for example. And we are very, we have a lot of attention to maintain the quality of all our wine, but in particular Lupo Bianco, because it's our top of the wine. We have to be sure that every age is okay. For example, 2017 we have produced only 2,000 bottles.
Yeah, nothing.
Non so se tu adesso hai il 17 o è ancora il 15.
No, we're still talking about the 2015, yeah.
Yeah. It was fantastic age 2015.
Yeah.
For Tuscany wine in general.
Before I ask more questions, is anybody that has a question for them? And you can unmute yourself and just ask the question. And And if not, I do have a few more questions that can be very interesting for them.
Marco, I have a question. Is it
Scott.
possible if we ever get to Italy that we could have a winery tour?
Cosa ha detto? Non ho capito, Marco.
Yes, we are working on it. It's me and Amy are always like debating and talking, and we will make it happen. So that is something that it's coming.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for us if you come in Italy, of course.
Yeah, and Impostino is for sure a stop in Tuscany. So
It's very
Well, I
nice
hope,
place.
you know, having family, or my wife has a lot of family up in Venete, just outside of Milano, so I hope to get back there soon.
Ah, ok.
Sure.
Se vuole venire. No, dico se vuole venire all'azienda, saranno
If you come in Milano to our factory is not too
far.
far. For Italy, it's not too close, but for the distance we are using in the USA is very close.
I've driven
less-
there, so yes, I know.
Yeah.
3 hours from Milano. It's very nice place, and for us is a great pleasure to meet you.
We have a 8-room swimming pool, restaurant, and so it's amazing to stay a couple of days or also more to visit the factory and so on.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Marco, I have a question.
Yep.
So I don't know a whole lot about the winemaking business. One of the things I'm curious about is how often do you taste the wine as it evolves from grape to bottle? So do you taste the grapes? Do you taste every few months, sample out of the oak barrel? And how does it taste different than the final product? And how do you know it's going to be good?
I asked Marco if I just understood well. Lui dice che tipo di processo facciamo nell'analizzare le uve e l'evoluzione dei vini per arrivare alla fine.
sì, la domanda più specifica era quella: quante volte assaggiate e continuate a assaggiare, e cosa sono le differenze tra ogni assaggio e come fai a vedere e avere la visione del prodotto finale.
Ok. No, we have a team of 5 people, my wife, I, and 2 winemakers and 1 agronomist. This is the commission who have who have to taste the wine and decide what have to do. Of course, before the harvest, we have we go in winery, we go and taste and look every day, and we decide when is right, begin to make the harvest. Sometimes also the same filare, come si dice,
The same row of wine.
we made before a side of this and 3 or 4 days after the other side, depend on the exposition to the sun. Then when we have made the harvest, more or less 1 month later, we taste over the wine, and then we begin to make the little separation. And the important thing is that we keep all the wine separate in a little tank.
Mm-hmm.
The Sangiovese, not all the Sangiovese together, no. Sangiovese in a tank of $50, $25, depend on the side of the factory where we have bring the grapes. Then when the wine the normal evolution the first year in a steel tank, stainless steel tank, is a normal. This is the winemaker keep the wine, look for a good evolution, but not problem for make the wine at the moment. It's only a technical evolution of the first year. Then in the second time, when we have to decide how we have to do, we begin more or less every 3 months. We make a degustation of all the barrique, and we became to go to individuare to choice the different part to understand if the this Sangiovese have to go to the Charlone, the other one to Impostino, the other one to Lupo, and so on. In fact, from just we make the harvest just at the beginning, just to the analysis of the tree. We have some component we have to decide before the harvest how is the top, the crew of the factory that have to go to make the andante for the reserve of the white wolf. But then we have to verify during the evolve of the wine every 3 months more or less. At the end, before put the wine in the bottle, of course, is the moment more interesting, because we have a lot of different come si campioni?
Samples.
Sample that the winemakers prepare different, but the difference is depend, for example, for the fact that we have had the evolution in different barrique, Taranto, Baron, Boots, and so at the end we have to make a blend of the same wine, always Sangiovese, for example, but that have an evolution in different barriques, so it became different in the glass. Mm-hmm. At that point, the commission of 5 people decide how is the best product, and we put the quality sigillo, no? Yeah, and go to put in the bottle.
But I also like to answer your question too, like this is very helpful, and there is a lot of tasting going on at all time, but like most of each stage of the wine, you taste different things. Like when you taste the grape, when it's not even becoming wine, you just want to maybe taste and dissect it for fruit, and then you start tasting and see if there are enough tannins, and then you taste for the acidity. So in the first 6 months of the wine, there is a lot of tasting, because also like the vehicle in which then you are going to age it changes from the vintage, and some barrels and some woods are better for some wines. And so you stop tasting and you just taste only for pleasure at the evolution after you decide all of this, and the wine is resting and it's you're just waiting for the aging. So but and I know we're kind of running out of time. It's always like funny, this is our first few calls, and but as always, we're going to post a video. I will forward to the club the presentation and the pictures of Tenuta L'Impostino, so you guys have it. And in the future, I know we'll do it a little quicker. I think we have time for maybe one more question if somebody has a question.
Yeah, I have a question. Firstly, though, grazie mille, Patrizia e Romano.
Grazie.
So just thank you. I can't wait to drink your wine. How long can these bottles be aged, or should they all be drunk this year?
Almost 12 months. The wine for us, when arrive on the market, must be ready for to drink. And so we invest in the cellar and we maintain the wine in the bottle until we think is very, very good for the market.
Thank you.
Thank you, you too.
If nobody else, I do have one more question. We have about a few minutes left, but in your words, this is a very unique blend in the sense that you don't find a lot of wines 60-40 or Sangiovese Merlot in kind of this quantity. But what is the difference of the Sangiovese from Montecucco and the Merlot from Montecucco? And I'm more interested in your opinion on the Merlot from Montecucco that is one of a kind, because Merlot, in my opinion, is one of the greatest grapes in the world. Can grow anywhere, but it's one of those grapes that you cannot generalize, because a Merlot grown in South Africa or grown in north of Italy or grown in France or grown in the USA, you could easily call it a different grape because it's not the same. So what are the two qualities of your Sangiovese and your Merlot that really identify and give a unique way to express this terroir?
No, vai tu, Sangiovese.
No, Sangiovese is too easy because Sangiovese, our Sangiovese is very different of all the other Sangiovese you can find also in Montalcino or in Chianti. You taste, but also different of the other Montecucco.
Yes.
I don't know well, but if you taste, and you, Marco, know very well, our Viandante, that is the Sangiovese 100%, you keep a different Sangiovese of the other Sangiovese you find in Tuscany. The difference is that you feel the terroir. Our terroir is you succeed in have a good acidity, good minerality, is very fresh, and
more elegant,
and a good and also elegant. If I have to give the characteristic of our Sangiovese, I think that is the acidity and minerality is the two particular very different of other. It's not easy to work because we don't want to work a lot on Sangiovese. We want that is the land to explain our Sangiovese. We don't touch in the cellar the Sangiovese. We touch the minimum possible. And so to have a good tannini, we have to wait, because at the beginning, the only thing we have to make attention that is that the tannini is not too important, and we have to expect time for evolve the tannini. But we retain, especially Viandante, that is our autochthon wine. Is important not make a lot of think and leave the expression of our land in total. Merlot is different. Merlot is the Merlot is not so different from the other, and the difference of Sangiovese is that the Sangiovese, more or less every year is different the age, but we succeed in have a great Sangiovese. The Merlot, we have to pay attention to the warm. When the season is too warm, our Sangiovese risks to have a lot of alcoholic evolution, and so we have bring early, but you know that you have to bring early is complicated because of phenolic maturation. We make attention is perfect, and in fact, when we make, for example, white wolf, the quantity of white wolf we make, it depends on the capacity of this age to produce a good Merlot. You know, for example, Marco, that in 2016 we have an excellent Merlot, and we decided to make, for example, the Black Wolf. That is a limited edition, 90% Merlot and 10% Petit Verdot. We have produced in a 5,000 bottle, only one shot, not produce more, to event for the 20 years when our factory born. No. So the Merlot have a good potential, is a very, very fruit. You have a good fruit, you have a good structure, but it's difficult to succeed in having a right equilibrium from alcohol and evaluation, phenolic evaluation. It's difficult for me to explain, especially when we have to talk about technical things, because you have understood my English is very less.
Okay. All right, so I know we'll get disconnected in just a second. So I want to thank everybody and thank you, Romano and Patrizia. You guys are amazing and continue making great wines. For everybody else, we'll send you the video call, we'll send you the information, the presentation, and some pictures. And as always, yeah, and thank you. Hopefully you're enjoying this kind of interactions with the directive from Italy, and we'll continue exposing you to